Okay, this segment we're going to be looking at the order of battle, either creating one or adding additional units, so you can see how this can be done. First of all, let's look at a location right now and see what unit is there. And to do that, we'll leave the edit screen because we're showing the edit screen here. Let's just leave this and go back to the blah, 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 blah. Where is it? The references and tools. So we'll look at the overview. No, we need to look at the deployment plot. There we go. All right, so the deployment plot shows locations of both units. If you were to look at only the one Confederate or the Confederate side, we can do that. By looking at intelligence reports, I believe we can do that. You can see the order of battle. Here's the deployment plot right here. So let's look at that again. So we're in the main menu, and we're looking at the intelligence reports as if we were a player just starting and we wanted to get information on some of our units, or maybe take a unit and split it up into separate units, because that may be a requirement at some point in the game. So let's look at intelligence reports for the Rebel, and we'll look at the deployment plot, and that tells us where our troops are located. And something that we also know is that there is now a Union identified marker here, by the way. And so it's position 251, and it doesn't have any notes yet. That's what we'll do. We'll just keep checking these kinds of things. So we have information that there is a unit right here. So let's take this unit in this town and find out what's there. Now wait, before I go there, look at the top left hand corner. We can click a position, as it says, or we can see what the scouting reports are, and by holding down the S as it's shown here, or we can click it and let go, and it'll show this area right in here about what we do know. And this shows you the range of information that's possible with units. So that's how we know this, because it's in our scouting range. We just don't have any further information at this point, but we can look and see if there's more information to be found inside Berthier. And if we wanted to, let's take that off just by pressing S again. Let's look at the image. So we press I, and that gives us the ability of looking at our campaign map with our units showing where they are. So we can see that this Union unit is approaching this town right here, where we also have some units in the area. So we're going to look at this unit that's at Smoke Town, and first we'll get out of here. That's press I again to get out of it. So let's go here, and it's just a scout unit. So there's nothing we can do about this. We can't break it up into separate units at all. So let's look at the recon report for the scout unit. That's down here, and it says no contact. Okay, so we'll leave that, and what we'll do is we'll pick another unit, maybe this one here. I'm not sure what these are yet. So let's take another unit, try this one here. It looks like it's the 2nd Division, and all 3 brigades of the division are there. And check the recon reports, and no recon report available for this unit. So what you're seeing me do is click every time. No recon for that unit, and there's no recon for this unit either. So all 3 units are reporting nothing, even though we see something blue in our campaign map. So we have to figure out why that is the case. So let's take this, designate the 2nd Division 1st Brigade instead of holding at position 370. Well, we'll leave it actually at 370. What we'll do is we'll move the other ones. So the 2nd and 3rd Brigade will view where they're located, which is here at 370, and we'll order them. Let's see. let's have them moved to 311. We'll click in here, the move to box. I'm sorry, clicking the button here. This is a button, move to 311. And then we'll say, to make sure there's no mistake, via 340. So we'll move our map right there and say via 340. So there's no mistake. And then we'll exit out of that and we'll say execute the order. And then for the next unit, which is the third one, we'll do the same thing. You can see the supplies dropping, and the position supply, there's no supply in the position it's currently at, and it also says the supply status for this unit is still okay. So we're going to order this one pretty much the same way. We're going to view the locality, which is the 370 again. We're going to order it to go to 311 via 340. So we'll, using our keys, arrow keys, we'll move to 311. We'll press move to, and then for the via, we'll say via 340, so there's no mistake. That's how we want it to move. And again, so now that we're done, we'll execute the order. Okay, and we're out of movement, and you can see that its current order is to move to position 311. So there we are. So that's how that is working. We'll view the plot for this movement that we just did, and you can see that there's a solid line and then a dotted line showing. The dotted line shows what's left to move in this order for this unit, and the solid line shows what it has moved already. So again, this is position 370, where we only have the 2nd Brigade left. So we'll give the orders to the 2nd Brigade, and we're going to have him move into this scout box, which is 251. We know that because we clicked on it. So we'll take the other brigade and we'll tell him to move to 251. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to the 1st Brigade. We'll say view the locality. We'll move our little guy using the arrow keys. Say move to that, and we're going to make sure there's no mistake. We'll tell him to move to 280. And what we'll do now is we will execute the order, and we'll send a message. So the message is going to come from the 2nd Brigade, 2nd Division, 1st Brigade. It's going to be going to the other 2 brigades of that division. So we're just going to put an X, and we're going to say OK. And the message is, guys, I am moving to the space occupied by the blue unit, which may be a scout unit. And then we'll just close that, say yes, and then it says already our message has been sent. So there we go. And what we'll do is we will view the plot for this unit that we just did, and we're showing that we've moved. Now all 3 brigades are back in the same position, but one of them's heading out to get to this location right there. So if we want to see the image, we can click here, and position notes, we can write something here, but instead of that we'll just do this. And let's look at that image again. Press I, where that guy is located, and it looks like it's in between 2 roads. So it looks like it's an important thing. Even though roads are at play in this game, it's still important. So he looks to be blocking the road, or at least he's positioned on that road. So, oops, yeah, be sure you click the right box. Okay, so that's how that all works. We'll exit issuing orders. And it says Rebel has new messages, see intelligence reports. So let's go ahead and look at intelligence reports for the Rebel. We'll look at messages, and we see that there's a message here to 2.2 and 2.3, and this one here, I don't know what that is. We'll look at that maybe later. This might be all the messages so far, because the system has been set up for both players to see everything. So when the actual campaign occurs, this is going to be locked out, and you may not see the opposing players' messages. But anyway, let's have a look at this. And it says it's for the 2nd Brigade, 2nd Division, from 2nd Division, 1st Brigade, at position 340. And it says what time it was sent on move 7. It says there's no contact, there's no sightings, but he's moving to the space occupied by the blue unit, which may be a scout unit. So we already know that. And then let's go and look at this one, same thing. Okay. So that's curious, I guess, because we didn't lock this out. Let's look at this order. All right, this is from the scout unit. It says he's moving far ahead to see what I can see. And that's how that works. So that is... we were starting to talk about breaking out a unit, but it turns out that I had already thought about that and created brigades, not divisions. So I've named them in the same division, but I've already created the smallest units, which are brigades, because we don't want it to be anything smaller than a brigade at this point in the concept. So that's that.